Morning guys, Stan here from Rocky Creek. So last night was the first night that the egg laying chicks, the young ones, stayed out last night. Wife woke me up middle of the night. We had some pretty bad storms. She was pretty concerned about them, I guess, because of how bad the storms were. Wanted to know if they would be fine. Of course, I said, they'll be fine, just leave them. I haven't checked on them yet. So let's go check on them and let's hope I'm not going to be in the doghouse and that everything's okay. But before that, or while we're doing that, let's go ahead and take care of farm chores too. And I'm going to time them to let you know exactly how long it took me to do it. So let's go. Let's get these pigs taken care of real quick. Morning, boys. How we doing? Let's get the big girls out first and get them fed. They get pretty upset if I leave them in here too long. I hear y'all. Come on. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Come on. Good morning. Good morning. There's always one. Yeah. First thing she did was come over here and check on them, see what they're doing. Yeah, we talking about you. Yeah, you. We talking about you. So guys, from the looks of it, they did good. Everybody's fine. So they actually, when I did come out last night, and they were roosted up on that wooden roosting bar. I don't know if you can see it right there. They were on there. I did have two on this metal pole that I had their feeder and water on, and I was able to kind of shoo them off of that, and they jumped up there with the other ones. And then I dropped the tarp all the way down. You can see I dropped the tarp all the way around last night too before I went in, because I did know they were calling for storms. I just didn't know how bad it was going to get. So I made sure I dropped it down on the back side where they were actually roosting. And so the only part that would have maybe been exposed was in the very front. But this reduced the wind and the rain. And actually it must have worked out really, really well, because everybody seems to be good to go. So, and even their food actually looks like it even stayed dry. So we're going to top off their food, top off their water, and I think these guys will be good to go. So I've gone ahead and taken the sides up on it because I want the chickens to see them as much as possible, and we might get some sunshine later on today, so hopefully we can get some good sunshine on them too, get them good and warmed up some more. So yeah, as long as I know there's going to be bad weather each night, I'll probably drop that tarp down, but it seemed to work really, really good. Good morning, bunnies. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing? Is your head squished? Hey, get off your mama. What are you doing on your mama? Mom life rough? Sweetie Belle? Just living that mom life? Let's fill up y'all's little bowl there. don't think you want to come out, buddy. Why don't you get off your mama's head? Why don't you get off your mama's head? There you go. I got you, sweetie Belle. This quarantine life's rough, huh? For the most part, we should only need to get these guys some water. You see, their food's still pretty full. Yep. They're good on food, but pretty much Scotty and this one could use some water. Last thing we need to check on is the meat birds. Make sure, first thing I do is make sure everybody's alive and healthy. Other than them smushing each other, everybody's good. So we check, make sure everybody's healthy. They're gonna need some water. These guys have been drinking water like crazy. I think I'm gonna have to put them a bigger water in here really soon. Healthy, everybody's alive, everybody seems to be doing well. Got your feeder right there, and then if you notice, since I got the egg layers out, that little piece I made for the water, as I switched it into here, seems to be working out really well. I did have one loss on the meat birds. Out of 20 that we have right now, I did have one that ended up passing away. It was one of the Cornish crosses. I have no idea what happened to it. Basically, that morning, everybody looked fine. I went to work, I came home, and like I said, I always check on the animals twice a day. And when I went to check on them that afternoon, for some reason, one of them was laying down on the ground, and he looked like he'd probably been gone for, I don't know, I'd guess probably a couple hours. But you just got to plan on it. With any time I buy chickens, I estimate for about a 10% loss. So that'd be about a 5% loss right now. Hopefully we'll stay at that, and we'll see where it goes from there. All right, guys, so that wraps up basically my standard morning chores that I need to get done today. So when I first started it was 7:40 in the morning. I just looked at the clock just now, and it is 8:19. So that was 39 minutes to get the pigs fed and watered, the chickens fed and watered, both the egg laying and the meat chickens, and to get the rabbits fed and watered. Now, I could have probably done that about at least 10 minutes faster, but I'm trying to hold this camera and do all that with it at that time, so I'm down to one hand. So on average, I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, I'm usually done with it all in about 20 minutes. So just want to share that with you on the timeline, so that way when you're thinking about if you can do this working full time, like I told you before, you can. You just got to time manage. And I kind of have a system down. I know my exact route and routine that I usually take care of most days. I'm just walking down to the garden right now just to check after all that rain, make sure everything's not flooded out real bad. So it's pretty wet, but everything looks pretty good. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's the cabbage and the lettuce. That's one type of lettuce right there. I can't remember the name of it. The brighter greenish mixed color, that's called a Rocky Top Mix from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seed Company. And then I don't know if you can see them out there, but all the cucumbers seem to be pretty good. I do have a little concern. There's a smaller batch row right here. That's Brussels sprouts. Behind that's okra. There is a little bit of area. I don't know if you can see it right there. I've been noticing a little pooling of water there, so I'm worried it might drown out the plants right there, but that seems to be the only spot. My guess is maybe some dirt settled for some reason, and that's the way it is. Now, it looks like our sprouts that were starting to pop up, I think you can see them there. They don't seem too wet. They seem to be doing okay. So I think everything in the garden is going to be fine. So hopefully we'll get a little bit sunshine here and help it along the way. I am going to try to get to work on one of the projects I talked about yesterday. Originally, I wanted to get some of the fencing up. I wanted to start running that, but it's just too muddy and nasty right now, and it'd be a pain in the butt trying to carry that heavy fence around. I don't have a tractor or anything like that, So a lot of the stuff I do here, I gotta do by hand, but that's okay. That's just the way it is. You do what you got, do what you can with what you got. But I do think I'm gonna get started on the early stages of kind of that makeshift livestock trailer. So I'll record some of that and we'll show you kind of an idea that I have in terms of trying to do that. So let's get to work on that and I'll show you what I'm gonna try to do. All right guys, so I'm getting ready to get started up on this livestock trailer. So what I got is I got 2 cattle panels, and I also have some things I ordered from Premier One that will connect each panel. Hopefully it'll work. They're technically designed for panels that you purchase directly from Premier One, but in my opinion, they wanted way too much money for their particular panels. So I think I saw a review where they worked on cattle panels, so we're gonna try that. But first I gotta get these cattle panels cut to fit the trailer, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So guys, these cattle panels, when you buy them, they come in 16-foot lengths when it's all said and done. These are the connectors that I'm talking about that I'm going to try to use, and I'll show you those once I get these panels all cut up and how they're going to go. But I need to cut, so one of them I've already made a cut on that I measured the trailer. Now I can't cut them to the exact size of the trailer. I'm going to have to reduce it down by just a little bit, so that way my cuts end up being where I get these cross pieces right here. So that way when I use those connectors, they have something to wrap to, because basically they're going to spiral between those and hook onto those to connect both panels. And then you can just basically untwist them off when you're done with it. Like I said, I'm going to use them in the garden so it'll work out. So this will kind of give you an idea. This is the one that I've already cut. You can see they're pretty tall. I really don't need them this tall. I could have used just another thing of hog panels and it would have done just fine. However, I need these for in the garden, so I'm just going to have it higher than it's going to be. And I just got this sitting up here for placement. I'm actually going to put this thing together and then slide it back on the trailer all together. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much of this it's going to be covering. It'll be, I believe it's 80 inches long and about 3 to, I think it's 4 feet wide, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 80 inches by 50 inches. I'll double check the specs here, but I'm gonna get to cutting the other panels and then we're gonna get them pieced together, and fingers crossed that this is gonna work out. Truth. The idea is that this thing will spiral onto that right there. So let's see if it'll work out. So guys, as you can see, it's got this one piece right here that I guess you basically use it. It's bent so that it'll stay up here and it won't keep spiraling all the way down to where it runs out. But then as you can see, it spirals through and it interlocks these things so they can't push it out. And then when I get done with it, I just unscrew it, take it off, and then I can repurpose this in the garden. Apparently I made a mistake on that first one and I used one of my shorter ones and not one of my longer ones, so I got to replace that one real quick. But otherwise, everything's working really, really well. Three sides on. So guys, I got some more stiffening up to do. So I am gonna run 2x4s on the inside near the base, in which I will take staples and we'll staple it from the side into the 2x4s to give it a little bit of rigidness to the base of it. But I gotta say, these little things worked really good. Now you might have noticed when I was loading it up that one side didn't have the set on it. Now I have a set and I can use it, but I did that on purpose. My plan is that basically this is going to be a door. So when it's time to load the pigs up, as you saw, the trailer drops down. So we'll drop it down so it's comfortable for the pigs to walk up. But then the idea behind it is we're not going to have a coil on this side, but that this will be almost like a door. So we'll open this up and we'll let the pigs walk up in there. Once we get them up in there, we're going to close this down, and then I'll either run a coil then at that time to keep it shut, since it goes pretty fast, or we'll use some heavy duty zip ties or metal ties. But all in all, so I paid 2 cattle panels, cost me $40. And then I got each of those spiral sets for about, I think they're $3.50 to $4 a piece, depending on the size. But I think I paid in total for all the ones I got $20. So for $60, I've been able to set up something that I can transport my pigs in without having to buy, you know, a couple $1,000 livestock trailer at the time. I'd like to get a livestock trailer eventually, but I won't have to. Guys, it's gonna wrap everything up for the livestock trailer. So break it down real quick. You know, it cost me, I'm pretty sure it's less than $60 or very close to $60. I have about $40 in the 2 cattle panels. Sorry, the wind's really high today, so hopefully it's not interfering. But I got $40 in the cattle panels, and I believe it was with shipping about $20 and the Premier One connector pieces, which I'll put a link of those down in the description for you. You know, Premier One wanted a lot of money for their panels, and they make good stuff, but I just couldn't see spending what they wanted for their panels, and they're smaller than the cattle panels. And like I said before, I can repurpose these cattle panels out there in the garden. So I hope that helped you out. I'll do a follow-up video when we actually put this thing to use, when we actually load up the pigs. Fingers crossed that it's going to work, and by then too I'll have the 2x4s down there along the base to kind of add some rigidness to it. But overall, I'm very pleased with how this came out. Guys, appreciate you coming with us again. If you like what you saw today, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe so you can be alerted to future videos. And as always, guys, I appreciate you. I hope y'all have a good rest of your week and stay safe. We'll see you on the next video.